Welcome everyone back to a new video. Here is 25 new upcoming Xbox Series X games gameplay. Let's start off with the first game, Lies of P, an upcoming action-adventure role-playing fighting game being developed by Roan 8 Studio and actually published by Newiz Games, with a release date to be announced because there's none as yet. Next up is Shredders. Shredders is the upcoming snowboarding racing sports game being developed and actually published by From Punch. The game has a February 2022 release date.
That they do on a snowboard, and of course ourselves riding in real life and just having fun and being creative on a snowboard. That's something that we want to bring into the game. Conceptually, we're trying to keep the convention of one stick for the board and one stick for the body, and directly map that onto the snowboarder. So at any point you should get a physical or animation response as soon as you're touching those sticks. And it gives you a lot of freedom in your playstyle, so you can choose to be smooth and lazy, or if you are more like fast and aggressive, or you can change up your style however you want. You want the motions kept fluid and stylish while still being very reactive. So that's a big challenge, and we had to create a complete animation system dedicated just for this. And here you can see the board interacting with the snow. He puts some weight into his turn, and he really digs in those edges into the snow for a clean carve. Or you can just use the board stick here to speed check, to line up for a feature. But you can also use both of the sticks combined for even greater control.
Next up is Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Extraction. Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Extraction is the upcoming tactical hero shooter being developed and actually published by Ubisoft. The game has a release date of January 2022.
React scientists are disrupting the propagation of the seismic waves. Good teamwork.
I'm reloading.
Get React Tech here.
We're done in this subzone. You should move to the next one. You've got a good thing going. Keep it up in the next subzone.
Medkit here.
Benny, there's ammunition here.
Getting jobs here. Airlock sequence initiated. All personnel to airlock immediately.
Next up on this list is Elden Ring. Elden Ring is the upcoming action-adventure role-playing open-world game being developed and actually published by From Software. The game has a release date of February 25, 2022.
Catacombs, caves, mines, and other dungeons can be found while out exploring the world. These dungeons each hold their own secrets, from hidden treasures to fearsome bosses.
Next up on this list is Edge of Eternity. Edge of Eternity is an upcoming action-adventure role-playing fantasy game being developed by Midgard Studios and is to be published by Dear Villagers, Maple Whisperers, and Plugin Digital. And while the game has already been released for the PC, it is coming to the Xbox Series X in late 2021.
Yeah! These creatures aren't just cute. They're also very good at sniffing out buried treasure, and they can even help you track down certain people or objects on special quests. But of course, more importantly, above everything else, you can pet your Nekaru. One could say that it's a perfect feature. Get it? 'Cause hey, so you can have Darien travel most of the world's great open spaces on the back of this magnificent beast. Once you play the game, you'll quickly discover how trustworthy they are. But enough with the small talk. Time to get down to business. For the purpose of this walkthrough, we've buffed up a monster in this area in order to demonstrate the battle mechanics. This Metacarnicerus looks like he could use a good beating. But before that, we need to properly prepare. Remember that new sword we picked up from there? I'd like to take a moment to appreciate the marvelous soundtrack composed by Yasunori Mitsuda. It's pretty epic, don't you think? Now that we've given that Metacarnissimus a solid first hit, let's keep up the pressure. We can use that Thunder Strike attack we unlocked with the crystal earlier. And boom! Got him!
Next up is DokeV. DokeV is an upcoming open world online role-playing game being developed and actually published by Pearl Abyss, and with a release date to be announced. Next up is Project Ragnarok. Project Ragnarok is the upcoming action-adventure fighting MMORPG game that is currently being developed and is to be published by Beowulf. The game release date is currently to be announced, but there should be a beta coming out soon enough. Next up is Saints Row. Saints Row is an upcoming open-world shooter action-adventure fighting game being developed and is published by Deep Silver. The game is said to be releasing on February 25, 2022.
Pantera is all about muscle and physical power.
They're part of the soul of Santo.
They're tough and brutal, and they favor melee attacks and heavy weaponry to come at you with full force.
Personality and what they lack in combat sophistication, they make up in numbers, and so they try to swarm.
Next up is Project Eve. Project Eve is an upcoming action-adventure third-person slasher game being developed and is published by Shift Up Corporation. The game doesn't have a release date.
그날 이후 지성의 도시들은 모두 예비처럼 폐허가 됐어. 잘난 신분들은 우주로 달아나고 나가는 놈들은 이곳에 버려졌지.
Next up is Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth: Wukong is the upcoming action-adventure role-playing fighting game being developed and published by Gamesize Interactive. The game is to be released sometime in 2023. Next up is the Gunk. The Gunk is the upcoming action-adventure game being developed by Imogen Farm Games and is to be published by Thunderful Publishing. The game has a release date of December 2021.
Gunk's gone.
Next up is Bleak Fate Forsaken. Bleak Fate Forsaken is the upcoming role-playing action-adventure fighting game being developed and is to be published by Mitsuo Vokisakiak. I don't know if that's right. I'm sorry. The game is to be released sometime in December 2021. That name was too hard to pronounce. I'm sorry, guys. Next up is King of Fighters 15. King of Fighters 15 is the upcoming fighting action adventure game being developed by SNK and to be published by SNK and Koch Media. The game has a release date of February 17, 2022.
Takes an early lead. Okay. Stand your ground. Ready? Go! KO! Player 2 wastes no time evening the score. Round 3. Ready? Go! Again!
Next up is Elex 2. Elex 2 is an upcoming open world role-playing action-adventure post-apocalyptic game being developed by Piranha Bytes and published by THQ Nordic. This game haven't got a release date as yet. Next up is Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is a first-person shooter action-adventure game. The game has a single-player campaign and also multiplayer mode. The game is currently also being developed by 343 Industries and published by the Xbox Game Studio. Now, Halo Infinite has a release date on December 8, 2021.
Take it down.
Next up on this list is Avowed. Avowed is a upcoming role-playing action-adventure shooter fighting game that is currently being developed by Obsidian Entertainment and is to be published by the Xbox Game Studio. It is also to be released sometime in 2022 or even 2023, the most. Or the furthest, I don't know. Hope not.
Our sins have borne.
Next up is The Feast. The Feast is an upcoming horror indie sandbox game that has a release date of an early access somewhere in 2022. Hopefully. Again. Next up on his list is Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is the upcoming action-adventure shooter game being developed and to be published by Ubisoft. The game has a release date of somewhere in 2022.
Portuguese frigate ahoy! Your attack has alerted a powerful Portuguese warship. At the helm is a Commodore, too tough to handle on your own. Even worse, you could lose your loot.
Next up is Stalker 2 Horror Chernobyl. Stalker 2 of Chernobyl is the upcoming first-person shooter, horror and survival game being made and to be published by a Ukraine-based company, GSC Game World. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl will be releasing on April 28, 2022.
Пулю выберу.
Вот ты говоришь.
Next up on this list is Tiny Tina Wonderlands. Tiny Tina Wonderlands is the upcoming first-person shooter action-adventure role-playing game being developed by Gearbox Software and is to be published by 2K Games. The game has a release date of March 25, 2022.
You know, some of you may be asking, Tina, why are there guns in a fantasy world? And I am just so glad you asked because shut up your face and get shooting!
Next up on this list is a game by the name of Invincible. The Invincible is the upcoming first-person shooter sci-fi action-adventure game being developed and is to be published by Star Wars Industry. The game has a release date of somewhere in 2022.
As far as I remember, we've run out of options here.
It's just... if I were you...
With all due respect, Astrogator, it is me being stuck on the surface. So if you let me, I'll take my chances, and I will find the man. That view. It made the climb worth already.
So you're on top.
Yes.
Activity within radius?
I heard no beeps, and I see no dots. Shit. How?
What?
I found him.
Very well. Now keep your distance and be careful.
It's too late.
What? I can't hear you.
It's too late to keep...
Yasna, what is it? Why is it too late? Yasna, speak to me!
He's looking for others. He's...
Next up on this list is Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. Warhammer 40,000 Darktide is the upcoming action-adventure shooting game being developed and is to be published by Futshark. The game has a release date of somewhere in 2022. Next up on this list is Elements. Elements is a upcoming role-playing action-adventure shooter game being developed by Wreck-It Games and is to be published by Wreck-It Games alongside Apogee Entertainment. The game has a release date of 2022. Next up is Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert is an upcoming role-playing action-adventure open world game being developed and is to be published by Pearl Abyss. The game has a release date of summer in 2022.